Take me with you. Welcome back. Welcome back to World End Economica, and that one powerful line. Can Hao take Hagana with him? Let's find out. That was Hagana's immediate reply. That rather surprised me. I never imagined she would say something like that. I'll be useful to you, Hao. Besides, there's also the issue of debts for people of this town. That won't work. That was what I said. And then I said it once more. That won't work at all. She was not sad at all. Just that it was the usual expression whilst her lips stopped moving. As if she was about to say something before she pursed her lips tightly. That expression, the only thing that could betray any emotion were his lips. Those lips tightened. For a debt to townspeople, with just a bit of time you could easily take care of it. I can't. Of course you can, don't lie. When I said that, she raised an eyebrow. Hagana was incapable of telling a lie. Why? Hagana asked me, but maybe she was more questioning whether or not it was because of her investing technique. I hesitated. She asked once more, why do you need to follow that man? Don't you already have all the money you need? I was taken by surprise by those words. I didn't expect to hear. Of course, Hagana was serious, and certainly that was the result of her understanding. She looked at me, and even now looked like she was on the verge of crying. Or rather, because of the darkness. I wasn't really sure, but it's impossible she already was crying. But money isn't enough. It isn't enough at all. Then you can grow it. That was Hagana's response. From the nasal sound of her voice, I knew that she was crying. I was lost and hesitated before I grasped Hagana's hand. It isn't enough. Not at all. But 10 million moles is not enough. What I want is 10 billion moles, or maybe 100 billion. There were playthings for children of that sort, paper money that had endless zeros written on them. 100 billion moles was something like that to most people. But currently the richest person of all mankind, the legendary trader called Mr. Infallible, had assets totaling 82 billion. Thus, 100 billion moles was not an impossible number. In Newton City, there is a road called Schrödinger Street. It's a focal point of financial alchemists that work at investment banks and hedge funds. It's where I must battle it out to win at all costs. For that, I must first train under a person who invited me on. I couldn't imagine that Hagana understood what I was talking about. Thus, when Hagana opened her mouth, the words that came out were not entirely unexpected. I don't understand. What will you do with all that money? This was Hagana who, when given 200 moles, would find no use for it. I wonder if she asked that question only because she didn't understand. I looked away from Hagana. As for that question on what I'd do with the money, I had the answer. But I was scared. I was scared at being laughed at over after talking about it. But Hagana looked at me intently, those eyes, they were frantic. Lisa had said to me not to push Hagana aside. If I were to keep this to myself, then I would be pushing her aside. Having said that, opening myself up was indeed scary. Yet I looked back at Hagana's eyes. Before she started trading using her software, she showed courage while watching by my side, as I traded, seeing her absorb everything on the screen brought up a particular moment. During that time, when she struggled, she continued to do her work as a teacher. At that time, Hagana said something to me. They also have dreams, she said. I have a dream. She looked at me, and then she spoke. What is it? Are you going to laugh? But even if it were pathetic to do so, I couldn't help but ask such a question. She stared at me and after a while gave me an honest answer. I don't know. A bit too honest. I was hoping she would at least say lie and she wouldn't laugh, but for Hagana, if there was even the slightest chance of it happening, she wouldn't say it. But I want to hear it. She said it clearly. She wasn't lying. She really did want to hear it. I took a step forward. If I were to have 100 billion moles, there's something I want to do. What? I was born on the moon. I somehow thought of going to say something suddenly, but Hagana didn't respond. On that note, I continued. I'm different from most born on Earth. My birthplace was the frontier of mankind's expansion. As always, Hagana continued to look intently at me, though I wonder if I'd seen this expression in her eyes before. And so? So there's a frontier for me. There's no frontier for me. For a frontier. Have you seen the Tree of Quantility Memorial Hall? Excuse me. It was a place to preserve the simple footprints of the first man to set foot on the moon. She shook her head slowly. But I know about it. There. The footprints of the first person on the moon are there. You want that memorial hall for yourself? Without thinking, I laughed at Hagana's words. She looked hurt by my action and glared at me quickly. Sorry, that's not it. What's the point in buying your footprints? Well, then what? No, what I meant is, like those footprints, I want to set foot on undiscovered territory as well. Hagana, who got angry at being laughed at, continued to glare at me with those intense eyes, but she did not try to shake off my hand. Undiscovered territory? Yeah, but as Hagana said that, she looked somewhat downcast. She was thinking about it. Where could such a place be? The moon's surface had been completely traversed and underground excavation was already progressing. Long before, Earth's surface was completely mapped by satellites. There's no mountain mankind hadn't set foot on, and no seabed that hadn't been explored with observation vessels. I wasn't sure whether Hagana was thinking about human history or not. After thinking for a while, she turned the focus back on me. I can't come up with such a place as that. I then responded proudly. Mars. Within my grasp, Hagana's arm stiffened. Perhaps she was taken by surprise there. But Mars is... In the past, there was a Mars immigration program. With the orbital elevator, it was theoretically possible to reach Mars. But while the project was progressing, the moon declared itself to be an independent nation, and supposed it became a political issue. Questions like whether or not Mars could become an independent nation, and wouldn't that lead to a flames of interplanetary war in the future, should the planet become an independent nation. Besides, development of a lunar surface isn't over yet, so those plans ground to a halt. She held her breath as I spoke. So, if I can earn 100 billion more, I wish to continue that project with my own money. I'm not very smart, so it isn't possible for me to attend Lunar City University, study space engineering, or become an astronaut. But as a sponsor, I can gather people with the power of money, and even aid in the construction of space vessels. 100 billion more is the kind of money that would be enough to manage a large country. Also, there is someone who's reached 80 billion more already. It's not a pipe dream. It isn't a pipe dream at all. I held Hagana's hand tightly as I spoke quietly and passionately. Up until now, this was a dream that I'd spoken to no one about. If it weren't for this darkness, I'm sure it'd be obvious I was blushing a great deal. But in the end, Hagana didn't laugh. Instead, she said this to me. Do you really think you can do it? A realistic question. More than wanting to laugh, I felt my chest tighten. This question was enough to make me want to cry, pathetically. That's not how it is, right? At some point, the hand I was holding Hagana's with ended up being held in hers instead. Keep going until it works, right? It is not that different. I intended to say that, but honestly I wasn't sure whether or not I'd been too dubious. That's how bewildered I was about Hagana's words. Amazing. I think it's an amazing dream. She squeezed my hand in return, closed her eyes, and swayed back and forth gently as she spoke. She looked like a clumsy robot who wasn't capable of showing emotion in any other way. So, for your dream, is it necessary for you to win? Is it necessary for you to win the contest? She asked me, and I couldn't hold Hagana's simple way of stating things against her. Besides, at this point, I couldn't hide it any longer. No, that is a different matter. Different? Yeah. The contest isn't for my sake. I don't understand. She replied honestly, and honesty caused me some level of anguish. It's for your sake. She looked at me. Huh? I said it before. The person who invited me on said he could only take me. I won't be able to invest here anymore. That's why, well... As I hesitated, Hagana spoke. What? So I thought she'd have funds to be able to continue to live with Lisa and be able to attend university. 200,000 more should be enough, right? You won't lose her books 4 times, right? That last one was a joke. But it seems like Hagana was actually angry. She kicked my foot under her covers. Ow! Stop kicking! Stop kicking me! Idiot! Idiot! She said that as she kicked me. But it did dawn on me. Hagana wasn't angry because I was talking about having lost that book. She was angry about something so completely different. For my sake, why? Hagana cried and closed her eyes tightly as she hung her head down in shame. I was confused as to what I should do. Immediately afterwards, Hagana let go of my hand and lashed out with all her energy. You idiot! I was falling to the ground along with a futon. And right when I was on the verge of doing so, my hand reached the floor. This time Hagana was facing your direction, on her bed, curled up in a ball. At that point I decided to leave her be. I stood up after getting my feet on my bed. The futon was on the ground, so I could clearly see Hagana curled up in a ball. She was curled up like a newborn, but her hands were wrapped across her legs. Looking at her now, she seemed completely different from when she was in the room, so scared she couldn't even recognise Lisa. Thinking about it, it might have been because Hagana's face the moment she kicked me out. The moment I fell out of bed, I got a clear look at Hagana's face. She was apparently very embarrassed. Overwhelmed with happiness, and embarrassed by it seemed. I hesitated for a moment, but this way Hagana might catch a cold, but I also wanted to sleep in bed. After all, tomorrow was the last day of trading. In the end, I returned the futon on the bed and got back in. She continued to stay curled up facing a wall. I thought I'd look the other way as well, but I scolded myself for being too spineless. If you ask me whether or not this was a buy or a sell, I'd say it was a buy. I set face up. Hagana didn't say anything else. Whether or not my dreams were back in my mind, felt rather refreshed having said it all. Also, it was huge that Hagana didn't outright reject or laugh at the idea. I felt my body warm up, and once sleepiness set in, I moved my hand. I reached out for Hagana's hand as it wrapped around her legs and held on lightly. For a moment, Hagana's body shrank back, but she didn't try to shake me off. We slept just like that. Much like how the moon and earth were tied together by gravity. A fat thin line connected Hagana and me, together securely. The next day, Hagana and I decided what we were going to do. Hagana was not going to look at her own terminal. It was because she knew she'd done all she needed to do. So what was left was to be at my side, watching the results. That did not mean she would not be of any use. She had to be there. She belonged there. It's game time. It sure is. And after all of that pillow talk, well, talk in the bed anyway, it's time to end the episode. Jumping in next time when I actually do get onto a final day of trading. Bye bye.